Let us discuss about immunological tolerance. This immunological tolerance is also called immunological unresponsiveness. It is also called immunological unresponsiveness. See the name itself, the heading itself, it says that immunological unresponsiveness. That means our immune system, it is not responding to particular antigen. Our immune system, it's not responding to antigen. Not responding to particular antigen. That means this immune system, it's not producing antibodies or cell immunity is not working against this antigen. Then we can say that our immune system is tolerant to this antigen. Okay, our immune system is not responding to this antigen. Then it is said to be tolerant. Okay, see why this tolerance is occurring. The mechanism is when it is in contact with the immune system, during embryo period, when an antigen is in contact with our immune system during embryo period, then our immune system treat this antigen as self antigen. Then our immune system will not produce any antibodies or it won't show any cell mediated immunity against this antibody. Against this antigen. See, how this is happening during embryological period? See, one mechanism is inhibition of B cells. See, one thing we must remember: this tolerance is specific. Specific means it is specific to particular antigen. That we must remember. Now coming to this mechanism, one is inhibition of B cells that produce antibodies. Okay, there is inhibition of these B cells that produce antibodies against this antigen. Second mechanism is there is elimination of TH cells. In the sense, as all of us know, TH cells, they stimulate B cells to produce antibodies. Okay, usually TH cells will stimulate B cells to produce antigen. Whenever these TH cells are eliminated, there will be no immune response because there is no stimulation of B cells and production of antibodies. And third mechanism is there is inhibition of contact of these antigens with the immune system. Okay, there will be prevention of exposing of these antigens to immune system. Okay, immune system, there will be prevention of exposing of these antigens to immune system. Okay, this is fourth mechanism. Fifth mechanism is neutralization of antibodies that are formed against these antigens. Okay, neutralization of antibodies. Okay, these are the most important mechanisms that are responsible for immunological tolerance. See, I said you during embryonic period, when an antigen is in contact with the immune system, it treats as self antigens. Using this mechanism, we can induce self tolerance to foreign antigens. We can induce tolerance to foreign antigens. How we will introduce these foreign antigens into the embryo, thereby producing tolerance to this antigen. This mechanism is called specific immunological tolerance. See, I told you, whenever an antigen is in contact with the immune system during embryonic period, it treats as self antigen. Then you see, whenever an embryo suffers from infection, then there generates a tolerance against that microorganisms. Okay, whenever an embryo suffers from infection, then there will be tolerance to that microorganisms. That means in the future, if the baby suffers from the same infection because of that same microorganism, our immune system will not respond to that microorganism. Okay, now this is about how an infection becomes tolerant. Now we'll move to the various factors that are responsible for this immunological tolerance. One is species. This tolerogenic is different in different species. Okay, tolerogenic is different in different species, and even in same species strains will show different tolerogenic. Okay, means the capacity to induce tolerance to particular antigen will differ in different species, and even in same species this tolerogenic is different in different species, different strains. Okay, then coming to immunocompetence. Immunocompetence, it is very easy to induce tolerance in immunocompromised persons. Immunocompromised persons. Okay, in immunocompromised we can induce tolerance very easily. Because of this, even in embryo, because of the embryo is immunological component, because immune system is developing, because of that there is possibility for induction of tolerance in embryo. The same principle we can use in adults also. In immunocompromised person, induction of tolerance is very easy. Okay, then immunocompetent people, using this principle we can induce tolerance in adults also by inducing immunocompromising. Okay, then nature of antigen. Haptens and soluble antigen. For this soluble antigen and hapten, induction is very easy. Induction is easy. You can induce tolerance to this haptens and soluble antigen very easily. Then particulate antigen. Then dose of antigen. There will be particular dose for which there generates tolerance to that antigen. Okay, we can say that particular dose as threshold dose. Okay, as threshold dose. So behind this dose, tolerance is usually impossible. If we give more dose, there will be immune response. If we increase the dose, there will be behind this threshold dose, there will be immune response. But for some antigens, there are two doses. There will be two doses for some antigen. For some antigens, at high doses, one at high dose, one at low dose. Okay, between when they are given at high dose, they can be induced tolerance. When they are given at low dose, still they can be induced tolerance. But if you give intermediate dose, there will be immune response. Okay, immune response. And last and final is route of administration. IV is most preferred for tolerance generation. Okay, and last and final is T cells become because we can induce tolerance in T cells by giving minute doses, but with high frequency. Means we have to give this minute doses frequently. Okay, frequently. Then this T cells will become unresponsive to that antigen. But whereas B cells, when antigen is given at high doses, these B cells will become unresponsive to that antigen. Okay, this is about self tolerance. This is about the topic immunological tolerance. Thank you for watching.